Have the only ticket that does so, you'll cash in on the high five with a $2,000 guarantee. Online wagering is available at watchandwager.com, or if you're in the state of Connecticut, mywinners.com. However, placing a bet is not necessary in order for you to enjoy today's action. Don't forget that we play Pelota, winding down Pelota. I think we only have a few more performances left. Well, I know we only have a few more. But don't forget that we play Battle Court at 5 p.m. today. The Devils taking on the Cyclones. Ooh, that'll be a fun one. We do have one scratch in today's performance, ladies and gentlemen. There is one scratch in today's performance. Gallo is scratched in his scheduled appearances today. Once again, Gallo is scratched in his scheduled appearances today. Let's look at that scratch as it affects today's performance in its entirety. Game 1, post 1. In the backcourt, scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Benny. Game 1, post 1. Scratch back Gallo, replace Gallo with Benny. No scratches in Game 2. Gallo was the sub, but if anyone goes out of that game, which we don't expect, so will be Flores, in case you were interested. Game 3, post 7. Scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Benny. Game 3, post 7. Scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Benny. There are no scratches in Game 4. Skipping to Game 5. Post 6. Scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Manu. Game 5. Post 6. Scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Manu. That's it for the scratches. Gallo was scratched in Games 1, 3, and 5. He's an odd guy, so he's only scratched in the odd games. With all that in mind, we ask you to make your wagers as early as possible within scheduled post times, and sit back and relax. Post time for game number 1 with its one scratch, which is Gallo, who's being replaced by Benny, is now just about 7 minutes away. Andrew, how are you?
Stu, I'm doing well today. How are you doing?
I am doing well.
Yeah.
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
That's good.
I was not in a happy place on Friday night, so my announcing may have reflected that, and if it did, I apologize to anyone who didn't get the type of announcing that they were looking for. Yeah, I was pissed.
Oh, it's okay. We're back here. Another fresh week, and as you said, not a lot of Pelota here remaining. I think we have this week, next week, and then just Tuesday the following week. So only, I believe by my count, that'd be 5 Pelota performances, including today.
Get your questions in, folks.
Let some more people jump into the chat here. We'll say hello to Steve, Mo, Jatna, Michael, Noel. And then we'll toss to the video here. This one will explain scoring format for all 8 of our games, which today, as every day, is Spectacular 7 scoring.
Spectacular 7 singles games are played with 8 players. Each player wears a different color jersey numbered 1 through 8 on the front. These numbers are traditionally referred to as post numbers. Post numbers are used to signify the order in which the athletes will play in a game. These numbers are also used for betting purposes. Don't be confused by the numbers on the back of our jerseys. Those are just for fun. Each game begins when the player in the post 1 red jersey serves to the player in the post 2 blue jersey. The served ball must land between the 4 and 7 lines marked on the court's side wall. If the ball lands between those lines, the serve is good and play continues until one of those 2 players wins that matchup. The player who loses the matchup exits the court and waits for his next turn at the end of the rotation. It's important to note that every game has 2 rounds. The first 7 matchups in a game make up round 1. Each matchup in round 1 is worth 1 point. Round 2 refers to all matchups that take place after the 7th and final matchup of round 1. The number of matchups in round 2 varies from game to game. And in round 2, each matchup is worth 2 points. The first player to earn 7 points wins the game.
And we're back here, folks. That's the back of us. That's another look, folks. That's Stu and I here in the background. About 4 minutes from the start of our first game of the day today.
Wow. See what the director did? One camera. He's got so many cameras he could, like, reflexively go to. You see the camera that he went to? My least favorite camera. I hate that camera.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
You didn't make a mistake. But you're not effing with me, right?
No, I don't think they're messing with me.
Because Brian...
That was...
See, you guys can't hear Brian's responses, all of which are, of course, very much professional. But Brian's someone who may not have been able... So, Brian, sometimes I'm just kind of like a little edgy, and sometimes I like just break it into sarcasm. But Friday night, I was just plain old in a bad mood. So, apologize if on the headset I offended you in any way. Brian knew something was up. There was one backhand 2-all, I believe it was. It was just godforsaken awful, and I had nothing that I could say about it. And it wasn't because it was a backhand 2-all. It's because it was a bad backhand 2-all. I mean, it was just like the player didn't look like he wanted to be here. I certainly didn't want to be here talking about him not wanting to be here. So I just didn't say anything. And then Director Brian came in and said, "Is his mic working?" I said, "Yeah, my mic's working." And then I explained the problem. But it doesn't make a difference. If we need to announce what's out there. So apologies, Brian, if you found that offensive. And I have no problems being called out as a dick if I am being sometimes I do need that. Sometimes, hey, Stu, Andrew's the best. Andrew will usually give me a head shake and which is you've gone too far, which I really appreciate. But Andrew's not with me all the time, probably because of that.
Oh, it's all right, Stu.
Brian was explaining that I went off so quickly that it sounded like the microphone had to go out. And no, it was just whatever happened in the moment was just so bad. I do have this habit where I just stop talking and I push myself away. I push myself away from the microphone as a visual means of literally just make sure we don't want to have a hot mic moment. It's like, man, there's people out here betting on you, and if you don't want to be here, why don't you let us know ahead of time? Because the way you're playing, it's like you'd rather be anywhere but here. Right. And guess what? That makes me rather be here any place but here. But that's not right. I take responsibility.
That's all right, Stu. You got it all out. You got to get it out sometimes. You got to vocalize it.
I have no problem.
You got it out. We got it out. That's okay. Well, looking forward to an exciting week of highlight here. Maybe a few less backhand 2-walls. Let's get the action started here with game 1.
This is game 1, a spectacular 7. Singles match played to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Serving red shirts post 1. Art Tabani receiving blue post 2. Jeden Unda. Andrew, can you turn me around? Thank you. There's the serve. We begin with an ace. Point 1. Receiving the white shirts of post 3. Here's Cool Fitness and Manny. Manny stops a good serve by Arta. Here's Arta on the backhand, low and hard. Powerful forehand passes. Arta to the outside, not outside enough. Well thrown, point 3. Green shirts of post 4. Here are Juice with Cabrera. Here's a backhand by Cabrera. Rebote. Manny will take this in the air. Cabrera from the 11. Powerful throw. Rotate forehand. Juice reached out, missed the ball, point 3. Black shirts at post 5. We have CRB. That's Jedden's favorite player besides his cousin. And in the backcourt, we have Ben. Big backhand by Ben. Cool Fitness on the rebote. Ben's there, winding up. Costalo 2-all, stopped by Cool Fitness. Cool Fitness sends it back. That's stopped by Ben. Well done. Here's Manny. Backhand from the 9. Ben from the 11. CRB winding up. Out. Point 3. Yellow shirts of post 6. Julian El Barba receive. Julian picks the serve, throws the carom hard. It's just out. Point 3. 4 points for the 3 post. Pink shirts of post 7. Benetrix and Flores receive. It's backhand by Flores. Jatna, I'll answer your question between games 1 and 2. I saw your post on Tiger's board, but some of the other posts were just so negative. If I were to get involved in that particular line, it would have been ugly. Point 7. Purple shirts post 8. Ikeda and Tennessee receive. There were a number of thoughtful comments in that line, but it's a bit more nuanced and complex than that. Tennessee makes the catch. Forehand. Flores is there. Backhand at the 11 line. Flores. Backhand from the 11. Ikeda's on. Outside placement by Ikeda. Got him. Point 8. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points through the end of the game. First to return, the blue post 2 in the front court. Internationally recognized superstar Jedden. In the backcourt, the ever-popular Unda. Ball tip, point 8. 3 points for post 8. Receiving, post 1. Arta and Benny. Here's a backhand by Benny. Tennessee's there. Ikeda, powerful backhand. Rebote coming out. Beautiful rebote by Arta. Catch by Tennessee. Benny will take this on the forehand. Tennessee backhand from the backcourt. Here's Arta. Ball tipped, point 1. 3 points for post 1. Green shirts of post 4. Juice and Cabrera receive. Beautiful catch, almost made by Cabrera, point 1. One team has 5 points, possible game point, trying to stop them. The black post 5, CRB and Ben. Greetings also to Michael Dupuy. Thank you also for the message you sent me. I forget how you sent it to me. Noel, greetings. Mo Crank, as always. Under serve, point 5. Yellow shirts, post 6. Julian L. Barber return. Say hi, Lai. As always, good to see you. Noel, greetings. Mr. Schumann. Mr. Eves. And highlight. Beautiful throw gets by Ben and scores, point 6. 6 serves to the 3 team. The white shirts return. Cool Fitness and Manny. But Jatna, since you've gotten into highlight, you have actually gone, not just asked thoughtful questions here in our chat, but I mean, to go into the ever so intense world of Tigers board, which is a tricky area. Here's a catch by Julian, powerful forehand. Manning on the rebote. Julian on the catch from the outside. Powerful throw. This one harder. Julian and he saves another one. Julian has it. He does it again. Oh! Cool Fitness got assessed in there, but tipped at point 6. 4 points for the 6 team. Receiving Benetrix and Flores. But you have gone long and wide in pursuit of highlight information, so be sure to ask whatever questions you have, because that was a particularly interesting question that you asked. I want to make sure you get at least my version of an answer. It's a good catch by Flores. He reached in there fine. Here is Julian. Rebote forehand. Bantrix calls for it. Julian's there. Scoop attempt. Tip, point 6. Possible game point 4. Yellow shirts post 6. That is Julian and El Barba. Trying to stop them are Jedin and Unda. Powerful, powerful backhand by Unda Robote. Forehand to the outside. Jedin's there with the scoop. Hard throw. Stop by Jedin. Unda. Costalo 2-wall stop by Julian. Great catch. Unda with the scoop at the 12. Hard throw. Caught by El Barba. Under from the 10. Rebote saved by Julian. Big bounce brought down by Unda. Rebote passes. That hit the overhead screen on the way to the back wall. Point 2. My goodness. Did you see Jedden during that point? I saw Jedden during that point. Keep up the good work, Unda. Purple shirts at post 8. Ikeda in Tennessee. It's backhand by Tennessee, powerfully thrown. Rebote. Ooh, not there. Point 8. Possible game point for the purple shirts, post 8. That's Ikeda and Tennessee trying to stop them. Juice and Cabrera. Is everybody out there a little jumpy, or just reel it in? Reel it in. Relax. Focus on the ball. Catch by Ikeda. Outside placement stop by Cabrera. Ikeda calls for the rebote, puts it inside. Big bounce. Cabrera's there. Tennessee with the scoop at the 12. Big backhand follows. Rebote, that's in play. Ikeda stops it. Backhand to the outside. Well thrown. Cabrera's there. Tennessee moves into position to make the catch. Oh, look at that. He scores with the kill shot. Point and game to post 8. Ikeda and Tennessee, no playoff. 6 places and one shows 8-6-1 is the unofficial order of finish for game 1. Winning game 1, post 8. Ikeda, Tennessee, taking second, post 6. Julian L. Barba coming in third, post 1. Arta and Benny. Benny was substituting for Gallo. Your prices are on the board. $2 Quinella, 6.8, 69.20. Trifecta, 861, 509.40. $2 wager on 8 to win, 1380. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is game 2. It is a spectacular 7. Singles match played to 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. There are no scratches in game 2. Post time is now just about 6 minutes away. Good luck. Andrew, do you mind if I take this question from Jatna? Okay. So Jatna, this was a hybrid version of what you said online. And I got to get closer. I'll put reading glasses on. And I'll take the microphone out of the stand so I can lean over. Stu, question. Were players really much better in the past, or is it just that sample size of all past players is so much larger than current players, or perhaps just played more? You're right on all points when you're talking about what chatters. So some folks in this chat who know traditional highlight by history, and definitely what the folks are talking about on some of the message boards. I'm going to advance my screen, and then I'll finish my thought. So, the idea is this, is that every roster that I personally have ever known had early games and late games. And there were early game players that had little to no chance of ever going into the late games. And then there were also some early game players that were developing and would potentially break into the late games. Then you had late game players, some of which were on the borderline, and then you always had your top players. And that's the way every fronton that I've ever known has operated. It was either early games or late games. There were some middle games, with guys that kind of were on the fence where that was concerned. Usually around ninth game singles in most places that had 12 or 13 game performances. And that's the way it was. And then every fronton had usually at least at least one front court superstar and one back court superstar that they would then enter into the various tournaments. And that's what people remember when they're going into the message board. So when that particular message board got off into who could play on a long court and who could not play on the long court, first of all, it's a pointless conversation to have. Because that is not going to be what is going to happen. We are going to have and listen to me carefully, because again, I have not received anything from our PR office or our C-suite, so I can't tell you where we're going to be or what it's going to be like. But it will not be full court highlight. It will be at an existing fronton, and the playing court will be shortened, is the best way to describe it. And yes, there is no question that the game is going to change. We'll be in the process of ruling balls out and ruling balls in to make sure that we get the best ball. And the goal is to have the same quality of play that we see here on the next stage. And it's pretty much as simple as that. So talking about like for instance, when they were saying that Ben could not, whoever commented that Ben could not play on a traditional long court, that's just bullshit. I mean, that's obviously someone who, doesn't pay attention, doesn't like highlight. Right now, every one of these players who has not played on a long court would need about a month to adjust. And some would adjust better than others. In being perfectly honest, let's take a look at Aratz, who catches everything, who comes from a traditional highlight background. The court in Mutriku is not the same length as Guernica. And Aratz, while catching anything on any court and having shots, from when he played front court, but if Aratz were assessed on his ability to power to get the ball to the back wall on some of the larger courts in Europe, that would not be the case. And that's unfortunate, because Aratz is a great highlight player. I mean, he really is. So when we break out of some of that nonsense that you were reading, it really just was opinion based on people who haven't been in a highlight fronton in a long time. And it's not going to be the case anyway. The court will be longer than it is here, but it will be shorter than it has been by history. And there is definitely going to be an adjustment period.
For sure. Well, clock flips to 0. Ready to begin game 2.
So, Jet, I hope that answered your question, or if it didn't, please feel free to follow up. You can ask questions. We'll answer between. We're ready to begin game 2. It is a spectacular 7 singles match. Play to 7 points. Points double after the first round play. Serving, the red shirt post 1. Cool Fitness. Receiving in the blue post 2. Juice. There's a serve. Our second game has begun. Rebote forehand, point 1. Now bringing to the court the white shirt, post 3, worn by El Barba. El Barba moves into place to make the catch. There's the backhand. Cool Fitness, backhand from the 8 line. Backhand by El Barba. That ball juggled at the sidewall. Point goes to the 1. Green shirt at post 4, Tennessee. There's the backhand by Tennessee. Rebote. Pika. Stop by. Cool Fitness. Tennessee on the catch. Costado scooped up by Cool Fitness. Good catch and control by Cool Fitness. Tennessee makes the save. Keeps the point alive. Cool Fitness is up at the 4 line. Hard of the inside where it scores on the second bounce. Point 1. 3 points for the 1 team. But now he faces Jedden in the black shirt of post 5. The Cousins face off. It's a catch by Cool Fitness. Here's the backhand. It passes. Jedden for the rebote. It clips. Scoop by Jedden. Oh! Trying to pass. He sent it to the overhead screen. Point 1. Cool Fitness with 4 straight points. Now serves to the yellow shirt of post 6, worn by Ikeda. Ikeda on the catch. Powerful forehand. What a scoop by Cool Fitness. Cool Fitness on the rebote. Inside, it scores. 5 straight points for Cool Fitness in the red shirt of post 1. Now receiving. Pink shirt of post 7. Ben. Concentrate, Cool. Concentrate. Powerful backhand by Ben. Rebote to the outside. Not outside enough. Ben's there. Tough one. Tipped it on the scoop attempt. Great 5 straight points for Cool Fitness. Ben takes over in the 7 post. Receiving purple shirt of post 8, CRB. Now, Ben, be careful. CRB is a little tricky. There's a backhand by CRB. Ben's there. CRB on the catch. Forehand. Low and hard. Ben on the stop. Backhand from the 10. CRB. Forehand rebote inside. Ben's there. Winding up. Back to the inside. CRB's looking for the Dehada. Missed it. Point 7. 7 with 2 points. Serving to 2 post. Here's Juice. Chadna, you're welcome for answering your question. I want to make sure that I answered it adequately, because sometimes they go all over the place. Ernesto, welcome to the conversation. 2 very good points. 2 real good points. Need strength for the long court and stamina for the short court. Very well put. Point 7. 7 with 4 points. Ben is now serving to El Barba. Inside placement scores. Possible game point for Ben. Ben serving to Tennessee. Possible game point. Rebote forehand. Just catch by Tennessee. Karam with the light touch, not light enough. Well, not hard enough, rather. You know what I mean. It hit the pad. Winning game, post 7, Ben. 7 wins at 1 places. 5, 6, 8, 2, 3, and 4 will pair off and play off 4. 3rd place. 5 first serves to 6. Highlight 29. How often do I go on Tiger's board? A couple times a week. Scoop by Jedden. Powerful backhand. That hit the overhead screen. 0.6. It's not. We're glad you're here. 8 serves 2. Yeah, I reflexively go on a Tiger's board, but I have since Tiger's board's been up. As far as commenting, that a bit more rare. 0.8. 3 now serves to 4. Obviously, if someone is saying something that's just patently wrong versus their opinion, now there's a difference there, and that I've got much better with. You know, some people's opinions just are one thing, but anybody who says anything wrong or asks a question on there, I'm happy to respond. Rebote forehand, caught the pad, 0.4. 6, 8, and 4 now playoff for 3rd place, 6 serves to 8. Like I'm a big fan of Al. You know, Al posts on there, but I remember Al from Amateur, and I remember Al from when I was managing at Miami Highline. I remember Al from Fort Pierce. Al would come down. An actuary, I believe Al's was an actuary for insurance companies. Retired and applied his numbers ability to highlight. Here's a backhand by CRB. Powerful forehand rebote by Keita. Rebote. Keita on the catch. CRB's there, backhand from the 8. Keita to the inside. CRB from the 8. CRB down low, backhand now from the 7, a little lower. Rebote, forehand by Keita, will pass. Keita on the catch, backhand from the 9. That forehand rebote escaped, 0.8. Possible 3rd place finish, possible show point for CRB, trying to stop him, Tennessee. Tennessee read it, got up there, stopped it. Rebote, Philo Rebote, out. 8 shows, unofficial order finish, 718. Your price will be up in a moment. The desire to kill it with style sometimes becomes overwhelming. Not in the announcer's booth. Results from Game 2 are official. Coming in first, Post 7. Ben taking second, Post 1. Cool Fitness coming in third, Post 8. CRB 718. Official order of finish for Game 2. Your prices will be up in just a moment. There are your prices. $2 quinella, 1-7, $66.20. $2 wager on 7 to win, $15. Trifecta, 718, the 50-cent price, $338.75. The Daily Double, Constellation, all 7, $44.60. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is game number 3. It is a spectacular 7. Doubles match. Play to 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. There's a scratch. Game 3, Post 7. Take out Gallo, replace Gallo, Benny. Game 3, Post 7. Take out Gallo, replace Gallo, Benny. Post time for Game 3, 8 minutes. Well, now it just took down to 7 minutes. Good luck. So, Ernesto does bring up a good point. I like the way you phrased that. Power for the big court and stamina for the small court. So yeah, that is part of it. Also, there will be other changes that, if I speak about them, it'll give too much of a location away, which Inaki did the other day, and one of our 2 bosses said, I'm going to kill him. So I don't want to make EPL's kill list. So I will be very good at not disclosing either the name, the location, or the differences between where we are now and where we are and where we're going. But there are differences that the player's going to have to adjust to.
Switch, 3-4.
And that's going to be interesting to see because some people only have experience with what we have here at Magic City.
Right, yeah.
And the ball will be highly determinative. Give me the word, Andrew.
What?
Determinative.
Determinative? Okay.
The ball will be highly determinative of...
That's a big word. Yeah.
Of how the players play and how the game looks. And we're aware of that. We are very aware of that. So, Andrew, how was your weekend?
The weekend's too pretty good. Just dealing with a cold, honestly. Just kind of, just hanging out. Not really a whole lot.
Has the thing I gave you,
better.
Has it helped?
Definitely better.
That's something I recommend keeping on hand. It's
handy.
Yeah, now, pseudoephedrine is pretty much, undefeated when it comes to opening up sinuses. I mean, now, unfortunately, people figured out how to... It's ridiculous, but people had figured out how to... It's a component of meth.
Yeah,
So
I don't quite get that.
So it's kind of gotten a bad rap, but yeah, you do have to go to the pharmacy counter with your ID, and you can only buy a certain quantity. It's actually by the weight of the pseudoephedrine monthly. Is the way the computer tracks, at least in Florida.
So every person has a limit. So if you go in, they'll know you've bought a certain amount of.
Everywhere in the state, everywhere in the state of Florida, it's tied in. It's similar to the opioid system. They know if you're picking up different controlled substances at different pharmacies. Yeah, it's and again, like anything else, it's just made things. Has it helped? A little bit, maybe.
Switch. Now, is it like if you actually needed it, what would happen? Someone else who genuinely needed that much, or is the dosage fit into a
No, the dosage.
Did you ever exceed what
the dosage is pretty good. I mean, if someone's really, really clogged up or whatever, I mean, you can, you go for the maximum strength. But that's why I go for Allegra.
Yeah,
the Allegra combination. Everyone, Mucinex has a combination. Allegra has a combination. The ones that I don't like, and this is me specifically speaking for me, are those multiple,
Cold and flu?
Exactly.
Like that stuff?
That liquid bottle that says it does all of these different things. It's just got so much of quasi stuff in it that you would do better to take the individual components of it, which are also cheap, than just one-stop shopping in this thick liquid. Yet there are some people who swear by it.
Got a fan in the.
With 3 minutes to go, let's answer this question.
I don't know. Is that answerable? Talking about the materials of the new grounds.
Ground cement granite.
Questioning.
So better. I wouldn't say better highlight. I would say different highlight. For instance, right now you're watching the early games, and if you watch the early games at any fronton, including all the ones you mentioned, especially 2008, 2009, 2010 through the teens, the early games were a bit rougher to watch than the later games. Our later games beginning game 4, and then once you get into games 6 and 8 for singles, you be the judge. This is so I can tell you that the professionals, there's a number of professionals, if you're familiar with the former Daniel roster, who play here now. And then if you take a guy like Lopez, for instance, who you may know or you may not know, Lopez retiring this year, considered the best backcourter arguably of the last 15 years anywhere in the world. Take a player like Olhoran, one of the best front quarters in the world, just real exciting players. They all talk about this court being difficult to play on because of the speed. Now, you always associate highlight speed with the ball, and I'm willing to give that our ball, may travel a bit slower than a traditional highlight ball, but it has the consistency of a hockey puck. So again, you have that, dangerous quality to it. It's nothing you want to get hit by. Inaki got hit in the wrist, not out of the cesta, off of the wall, off of a 2-wall, and it broke his ulna. But then you have the pace of play, which I think you'll see in a little bit, which some players from a traditional court do find difficult. So it's not really a better. There are some people clearly who just can't stand the glass, and we encourage them to watch soap operas at this time of day. But as far as highlight play, it's all the same catches, it's all the same throws. It's forehands, it's backhands, it's costados, it's the kill shots. It's all the same, so it is highlight.
Oh, and I think he's a fan of highlight. Didn't say anything. Said highlight's better when played against cement and granite. But hey,
it's largely a question of taste. As these games go today, then if you watch Battle Court at 5 p.m., which is like a head-to-head matchup, which we really encourage you to do, you'll see a lot of speed and a lot of talent. We're ready to begin our third game. It is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Up first and serving, red shirt of post 1. Julian L. Barba receiving the blue shirts of post 2. CRB and Ben. Julian serves. We begin. Backhand by Ben. El Barba from the 12 line to the inside. CRB with a hop. Tipped it. Point 1. Julian L. Barba first on our board here in our third game. That'll bring to the court. White shirts post 3. Juice and Cabrera. It's the backhand by Cabrera. Robote. Forehand. Light touch. Juice on it. Didn't get it. Point 1. Receiving green shirts, post 4, Cool Fitness and Manning. If you're asking me if I personally miss that unique sound of the highlight ball against Granite, I listened to it for so many years. Like I'm 56 years old and began announcing in 1991. So I heard it and played amateur since. Wow, man, he missed it. Point 1. Black shirts, post 5, receiving. Bentrix and Flores. So if you're asking me if I missed, I mean, I heard the sound. It's basically a sound for my entire life. Don't miss it. Do like it. Cortada, stop by Benetrix. There's the backhand. El Barba from the 10. Benetrix calls for the rebote, puts it inside. El Barba's there. Flores from the 11. Julian attacks. Flores, backhand. Beautiful catch by Julian on the side wall. Rebote forehand, saved by Benetrix, catch by Julian. Rebote by Benetrix to the outside, will score, point 5. Yellow shirts, post 6, return to the court. Ikeba and Tennessee. Powerful forehand by Tennessee. Caught by Benetrix. Benetrix from the 9 line. That ball died. In play, Ikeda makes a fantastic save. Benetrix on the catch. Outside placement will score. Ikeda with the flip. He looks good. Point 5. Pink post 7, Arten Benny. Like I can tell everybody, like one of the things that I do really like here is that there's a higher frequency of really exciting plays because of the speed of the ball and the skill of many of the players. Rebote forehand. Catch by Benny. Benetrix from the 9 line. Shoots it. It scores. Point 5. 5 with 3 points. Here's purple shirt, post 8. To complete the first round of play, we have Jeden and Onda. Thank you, Highlight. The project has come a long way. Light years. That's an ace by Benetrix, point 5. 5 with 4 points as we complete the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the blue post 2, CRB and Ben. Powerful backhand by Benetrix, caught by Ben. Ben with the carom. Benetrix reads it, stops it. Cortada caught the pad. It's called the CRB effect. 2 on the board with 2 points. Here's post 3. Juice and Cabrera. Cabrera on the backhand, low and hard, and there's Ben. Ben calls for it. CRB literally about to take a nap there at the 9 line. Robotate by Ben. He makes a save. That clears. Cabrera on the outside. Backhand. Ben for the rebote. Difficult rebote. Thrown low and hard. Cabrera's there. Karam is out. Point 2. 2 with 4 points. Here's the green shirts, post 4. Cool Fitness and Manning. Ball missed in the backcourt, point 2. Ben, put that hand down unless you want to fine. Possible game point. Barber on the backhand. Rotate forehand. Ben makes the catch. Robote. Caught by Julian. Powerful throw by Julian. Off the frame of Ben Sesta, point 1. Possible game point for the red shirts at post 1. Julian and El Barba trying to stop them. Ikeda in Tennessee. There's a backhand by Tennessee. Julian on the catch. Great catch by El Barba up high. Julian, backhand from the 8. Robote forehand dropping, saved by Ikeda. Julian makes it. Powerful forehand. Catch by Tennessee. Robote forehand by Julian. Ikeda takes it on the bounce. Great catch by El Barba. Ikeda on the forehand. El Barba scoops it up at the 13. Backhand. Clips. And scores. Point and game for the red shirts of post 1. Julian and El Barba. No playoff here. 2 places, 1, 5 shows. 1, 2, 5 unofficial order of finish. Results from Game 3 are official. Coming in first, post 1. Julian and El Barba taking second, post 2. CRB and Ben coming in third, post 5. Benetrix and Flores. There are your prices. $2 quinella, 1-2, $48. The trifecta, 1-2-5, $221 even, $221.80 rather. $2 wager on 1 to win, $21.40. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is our 4th game. It's a spectacular 7 singles match. Played to 7 points, with all points doubling after the first round of play. Game 4, kind of our mid-game. Most of these guys will be playing in the later doubles matches. This is their 1 singles game. Feature singles games, Game 6 and 8. Post time for Game 4, 5 minutes. Good luck. Well, if you referring to the chat now on YouTube, so everybody knows where I'm talking. That occurred to me. Where am I getting these questions from? They didn't hear anybody ask the question, though they may have heard Cool Fitness yelling from his couch. That's one thing about the next place that I am looking forward to. We will be hard pressed to hear players that are not where we're sitting.
You think so?
If they're where they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to hear. I'm convinced. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I don't. This doesn't tell too much. Is it going to be more of a traditional locker room, would you say?
As traditional as a highlight locker room gets.
Okay.
Enough
said.
Far away. Far away.
Well, it is a little unique, and it's just kind of the new normal for us. Like after COVID, like this setup here.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, I didn't think in 2025 it would still be this way, but I think it makes more sense. And now that like the roster's grown so much, we couldn't fit half of the roster into this locker room here, right?
Switch. 5, 6, 7, 8.
When we started, how many players were there? Like 20 something? I mean, half of what we have now, I can imagine.
We had to try year one. We got to 20. We may have had 21, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, not many more than 20, and we have close to 40 now across everybody.
I think we have more than 40, don't we?
Well, we have 36 full-time battle court, and then you have the couple on the taxi squad. So you're right around 40.
37, 38.
Maybe just under. 39, 38.
I believe we have 38 players. And that may increase next year.
Yeah, and there's really not a ton of, it's not a knock on the locker room, but there's really not a lot of space to navigate back there. So, if you have like 10 or 12 guys trying to shower at a time.
We are stunned.
Yeah,
that locker room was
sense.
that locker room was created to basically get in and get out. I mean, not a
right.
place. And traditional highlight locker rooms were basically a place where guys would be locked in with each other for 12 hours at a time, potentially with a lunch break, so, or at least, okay, so the matinee would start, so you had to get there by 11. So that's 11 to 11, 12, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, so 4 or 5 hours at a time, twice a day. Spent a lot of time there, and 5 to 6 days a week.
Yeah, at that time, there was
5 to 6 days a week. So there are places to go, and by state statute here in the Florida. Here, did I say whatever I said? Okay.
No, it's not.
But here in Florida, there were rules on the books that were heinously strict. Like once the program began, the back door was locked, and the players could not be anywhere other than the locker room and the court, period. And it wasn't people just wandering into like a locker room at Miami and saying, hey, what's going on? No. Security guard on the outside, and you had to have business. Like announcers would often go into the locker room to deal with the player manager because of the entries. But that was the only reason. But apart from that, it was locked. Players had separate parking that the public did not have access to. I mean, those are rules that were in place for years and years and years. Heard of old amateurs, one of the things going to the fence after the games and, hey, Joey, can I buy your basket? Can I buy your basket? Buying cestas as the players were leaving the evening or matinee performance. Security might let them slide for that. That hasn't existed in a long time.
Mr. Schumann, great stats that you sent over, and you can answer in the chat. Do you have any more recent updates with the stuff that you've been working on? Let me know, because I'm very intrigued.
And if Andrew says that he's intrigued about your stats, that is a high compliment from Andrew.
Looking for more data, simply, You have more.
Ready to begin? Game 4, Manny serves, Julian receives. What a catch by Manny. Comes back over the top. Julian's there. Julian from the forehand to the inside. It's another great grab by Manny. Powerful backhand follows. Manny from the 8 line. Lands out. Point 1. Receiving the white shirt at post 3, Lalu. La Machina, always good to see you. Good to have you in the chat. Welcome. Hope you enjoy. Great professional and always a gentleman. Lalu on the catch. Here's the backhand from the 10. Manny's there. Costello 2-all. Is out. Point 3. Lalu is serving to the green shirt at post 4, worn by Echeberry. Beautiful catch by Etchberry. There's the backhand. Rebote saved by Lalu. Costado caught the pad. Point 3. Black shirt at post 5, number 55, Benny. Here's a backhand by Benny. Benny the inside where it scores, point 5. Yellow shirt at post 6, Hyro receives. I believe there was a question asked about where to find sports wagering on Battle Court. So we do have Battle Court at 5 p.m., a different format of Highlight, and that can be found on FanDuel, DraftKings, BetRivers, or if you're in the state of Florida, of course, and elsewhere, the Hard Rock app. Those are the platforms where you may find us, if you so choose. Or you can just watch Battle Court at 5 p.m. That ball dies coming off the back wall, point 5. Post 7 receives. Gonaga. Backhand by Benny. Karam does not open. It's stopped by Benny at the 9 line. Rebote left side by Benny for the big bounce. Cut off in the air by Gonaga. Gonaga goes inside to score, point 7. Arta will complete the first round of play. And definitely to our friends in Connecticut, please, it's really not that difficult to write to your state senator or state assemblyman. Write to them and tell them that you would like, since sports wagering is already legal in the state of Connecticut, that you'd like to wager on Highlight. Point 8. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the blue at post 2. Julian. Already done. Did you get a response? Beautiful catch by Julian. Here's the backhand. Rotate forehand. Julian on the catch. Low and hard. And the scoring, point 2. Julian has 2 points. Here's post 1, Manny. Yeah, sometimes you got to keep calling and let them know that it's important, because really it is, at least in my opinion anyway, when you look at the law, legislatively, it's a very simple fix. It's a very simple fix. Catch by Manny. Karen by Manny. Open. Stop by Julian. Point 2. 2 with 4 points, serving to post 4. Etcheberry. I hear you, Jatna. There's a backhand by Etcheberry. Point 2. Julian's gone to 6 points and has possible game point. Trying to stop him, Lalu. Jet, and I'll tell you, sometimes what it comes down to is number of games played. So since Benetrix plays the two early doubles matches and 2 late doubles matches, that's 4 games. Some guys... Julian's rebote falls short, point 3. Receiving, post 6, high row. That's part of the balance that we go through when assigning games, because in this case we had more players than we had spots for Pelota in a very short and abbreviated Pelota season. So that was a little on the tricky side. But you are right in your assessment that Benetrix does fit well into that. But prize money is a big way that these, I mean, it's a significant part of these players' income. Beautiful catch by Jairo. There's the return. Lalu is there. Point 6. Receiving, post 5, Benny. So giving them opportunities to make prize money is very much my job, JR's job, Scott's job. Battle Court, Andrew and a person named Julian Scott, they make sure that there's parity as far as opportunity. In fact, you don't get better than their parity. Pelota parity is a little bit more difficult to achieve. That's an overserve, point 5. Gonaga receives, pink post 7. Oh, no reason to rescind your statement, because you're like me. You want to see it based on play. I totally get that. I totally get that. Rebote forehand by Benny. That's out. Point 7. Gonaga comes back to the service line. 3 points. Here's post 8, Arta. Here's a backhand by Arta. Scoop by Gonaga. Arch is there. Two all. Beautifully executed by Arta to score. Point 8. Eight with 3 points. Here's post 1, Manny. Thank you, Highlight, for showing that to me. I know it's that's the political side of things. The policy side of things is a little bit more simple than that. That 2-all caught the pad, point 1. Green shirt at post 4, Etcheberry receives. For those of you who did not hear the first part of that conversation, we're talking about opening up Connecticut to sports wagering in Highlight, which seems like a no-brainer is the easiest way to put it. Long carom by Manny scores, point 1. The game is locked. 1 has 5, 2 has 6. Manny serves to Julian for the game. Rebote forehand. Julian has it. Powerful throw. Scoop by Manny at the 11. Manny now from the 10 line. Back to the inside. Julian with the catch. Backhand from the 9. Robote forehand. 2 pass. Catch by Manny. Manny to the inside. Picaba stopped by Julian. That's a great catch. Excellent catch by Manny. Backhand. Thrown powerfully. Rotate up the middle. Stopped by Manny. Manny to the inside. Ball tipped. Point and a hard fought. Game goes to Julian in the blue of post 2. 2 wins it, 1 places, 3 serves to 5. This is a playoff 4 show. Scoop by Benny, 2-all. Stopped, but not held on to. 5 shows. 2-1-5. Unofficial order finished for game 4. Say hi live 420. No, I'll explain what the Connecticut issue is just a moment. It's actually entirely more policy driven. It's really not dramatic at all. Winning game 4, post 2. Julian taking second, post 1. Manny coming in third, post 5. Benny. 2-1-5. The official order finish for our 4th game. Early pick 3, 7-1-2, 3 of 3 numbers, 326 even. $2 wager on 2 to win, $11.40. $2 Quinella, 1-2, $60.20. Trifecta 2-1-5, $233 even. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is Game 5. Game 5, a spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. There is 1 scratch in Game 5. Post 6, scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Manu. Game 5, post 6, scratch Gallo, replace Gallo with Manu. Post time for Game 5, 8 minutes away. Good luck. Okay, so don't want to get mired down in the weeds of pari-mutuel versus sports betting policy. But Connecticut is a very interesting state because the laws that allowed Highline to come to Connecticut were originally passed 1971, 1972. I believe it was 1972. And they assigned the regulation of Highline to whatever Commission of Special Revenue or it was something of special revenue. They were in charge of it for all those years. And, of course, the Highline Frontons opened in 76, 77, and were there until Milford closed in 2003. So people have been betting on Highline in Connecticut since the 70s. So they continue to. Obviously, those of you who are betting in Connecticut through my winners know that you can. But you can't on Battle Court, which is a sports betting. So how does that make sense? Why can I bet on it pari-mutually and not sports betting? My understanding, that's a big switch, straight forward. That's a big caveat there. My understanding is this, is that Connecticut, when they developed their laws to bring pari-mutuel wagering into the state of Connecticut, I think it was both pari-mutuels and lottery, is the history in Connecticut, that preemptively they put into the law that you could not have fixed odds betting on Highline. And that was to de-incentivize anything at that time which wasn't allowed, which was sports betting on Highline, specifically. So instead of having to go back, they started off that way. So my understanding is that that law is still on the books. And so as part of a pari-mutuel law, which allows for you guys to bet on highlight pari-mutually, part of that law specifically prohibits fixed odds wagering on highlight, which was done for a different purpose that no longer applies. And so it's a question of not making a new law, just revising the current law and taking the fixed odds part out. But of course, there needs
Seems
to be a
pretty
law.
simple, right? Yeah.
It really just needs people to do it. And I can't see that there would be anyone, like for instance, competing interests are always, who's against it? That's always kind of a question. But if the tribal properties in Connecticut, which obviously are huge, if the tribal property show us for pari-mutuel, I can't believe that they'd have a problem showing us for Battlefield. A compliment. Thank you, Michelle Brunel. It's really Andrew that's gotten better. I've just gotten looser.
Well, the play,
Play
the
is
outs has been kind of, has plateaued. It was good.
when were we at our best?
That would have been. Man, some of those early COVID days were kind of wonky, huh? Some of those broadcasts when we do like the National Day, there used to be a lot going on.
Oh, that's
and
right.
Now it's
National Day, and then you used to ask me about presidents, and I remember you looking at me once saying, "Don't overthink it, Stu."
seems like something I could have said.
Oh, you did.
But yeah,
say
I
it.
think our prime was like three or 4 years ago. Could have been closer to 4 years, honestly.
Well, I think the announcing's.
We've just been coasting.
But now they're asking us for a different type of announcing.
Yeah, a little
I mean, it's
different style. It's actually, honestly, it's easier to do what they want. It's just different.
Yes, it is easier to do.
Yeah, it's just different and it's weird because we haven't ever. It's new, so it's strange.
I just think, and then also Andrew and I have this mutual thing of where we feel as though we're potentially stepping on each other. Like Andrew's on a roll where play-by-play is going, and if I want to interject, then I feel like I'm stepping on him. Or if we're conversating like this, I realize that I ramble, and I'm happy to have Andrew jump in anytime unless I'm going off on an idiot in the chat. Sorry, there are no idiots currently in the chat well, there may be an idiot in the chat, just not writing anything.
Switch, 7-8.
Always true. You never know. Yeah, Steve. I mean, we would go to your website and we would look at the biggest payout on the high five. That was always something when the carryover would continue. What was the longest stretch that the high five wasn't hit? Because at that time you said 10 in a row, but then it became a month or 20 days where it wasn't hit, and it was all we were talking about.
It hit double digits. Didn't it go up to 20,000?
Yeah.
I
was
remember
really
double digits.
close.
Was it 12,000 or 20,000?
It would be 17 or 19. It may not have been 20, but it was really close.
I don't know that it ever hit 20, but
No.
it did hit
Just
double
shy.
digits.
For sure, we hit 5 figures a handful of times. Yeah, those are days. Yeah, Douglas was winning a lot of the. Doesn't matter. You don't have to make a distinction between early and doubles. He was winning just about everything at that time.
I forgot to tell Alex. I know. Some who understand, Alex understands. And I understand Alex. We're both a little...
Speak the same way, yeah.
Yeah, and our birthdays are 2 days apart. It's a Pisces thing, too.
Joe Vaughn. So I did hit the biggest high. Okay, at 12K.
12. I knew there were
20
two was
some days,
involved.
it paid 27,420. That was the largest ever. That's not.
So
Hey,
I
I'd
did get
take
over
that
20.
job.
Wow.
12K, I'll take that run. But I guess the highest all time was 27,000.
And then remember in the beginning when it was getting hit like every 10 minutes? And Scott was,
We went down.
okay, wait a second, we got to change this.
It used to be guaranteed at. You could actually probably see the date on Steve's website where we changed it from a $5,000 to a $2,000 guarantee because it was like 1 week it was hit. And it was, I think it's over. And then we got a $27,000 jackpot, a year later or so.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready to begin Game 7. Game 7 is a spectacular 7 doubles match. Played to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Serving in the red shirts, post 1, goes Sherry and Ben. Receiving the blue, post 2, Etcheberry and Benny. Sherry serves. We begin. Backhand by Ben. Rotate forehand. Benny's there. Nice save by Sherry. Etcheberry moves in but lets it pass. Here's the backhand by Benny. Etcheberry back at the 10 line. Powerful costado scooped up by Sherry. Etcheberry stops the 2 wall. Throws it perfectly off the sidewall. 2 score, point 2. Receiving are the white shirts of post 3. We have Lalu and Arat. Here's the backhand by Arat. Lalu plucks that off the sidewall nicely. Here's Benny at the 11 line. There's the backhand. Lalu's there. Aratz advances to make that catch. Powerful backhand. Etcheberry at the sidewall has a missed ball. Point 3. Green shirts of post 4. Alex and Julian. The long cortada failed. Point 3. Black shirts post 5. Iñaki Anunda. Iñaki picks the serve. There's the backhand. Aratz down low. Karam opens and scores. Well executed by Lalu. Point 3. Fair on the board with 3 points. Here's post 6. Iturbide and Manu. There's the backhand by Aratz. Manu is there. Iturbide backhand at the 9 line. Powerful backhand by Iturbide. Lalu winds up. Gustavo 2-all stop by Iturbide. Cortada by Iturbide. Thrown perfectly to score point 6. Saving in the pink shirts. Post 7. Arutia and Cabrera. Here's a backhand by Cabrera. Point 7. Here now to complete the first round and receive purple shirts of post 8. Goanaga, Nicholas. Ball tip, point 8. We've completed the first round of play. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, the red shirts of post 1. Go sharing the front court with some guy named Ben in the back. Sherry powerfully from the forehand. Nicholas, beautiful catch at the 11 line. Nicholas now from mid-court on the backhand. Ben's there. Ball tipped. Back at the 10 line, point 8. 3 points for the 8 team. Returning in the blue, post 2. Itchberry and Benny. Benny gets back to the inside, makes a great catch. Goanaga. Cut off by Etchberry. Etchberry blasts us the outside, stopped by Goanaga. What a scoop by Benny. That is beautiful. Robote forehand kicks up into the overhead screen, point 8. Straight points to possible game point for the purple shirts, post 8. Goanaga. Nicholas trying to stop them are Alex and Julian. How'd the meeting go? Your parent. Okay. Beautiful catch in the front court by Alex. Catch by Goanaga. Goanaga powerfully. Alex, in and out of the cesta the ball goes. Point in a perfect game. Purple shirts of post 8, Goanaga and Nicholas. 3 places, 6, 7, and 2 play off for third place. 6 first serves to 7. Ball tipped. Point 7. Possible show point for post 7. Here's post 2. Goanaga Benny. Arrutia got there, dropped it back inside to score. 7 shows. Unofficial order finish, 8-3-7. Your price will be up in a moment. 837 is official order of finish. Coming in first, post 8. Gonaga Nicholas, they had a perfect game, taking second, post 3. Lalu and Rotz coming in third, post 7. Rutia and Cabrera. Taylor Canelo 3-8, 59-20, trifecta 837, 475.60. A $2 wager on 8 to win, $18. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, game 6, which begins our late pick 3. Post time 4. Game 6. Just about 8 minutes away. Good luck. Okie dokie, so we have a question which keeps us talking, which I always like. With 5 minutes till post. What kind of balls are used at Magic City? Are they hard rubber balls from... No, they're not. So each one of the places that you mentioned has their own ball. So the balls that we use here at Magic City are mass-produced, I guess is the best way to call it. In a plastic injection molding machine. So it is injection molded plastic. And then we have 2 layers of electrical tape on the outside of the ball. The tape makes the ball predictable. This ball has the consistency roughly of a hockey puck. When I was thinking of things in 2018 to compare it to, you know, it wasn't as hard as a traditional highlight ball, but, you know, it's definitely harder than a baseball. It's definitely harder than a lacrosse ball. So when I was coming up with things, somehow or other, I grabbed a hockey puck. So it's about the consistency of a hockey puck. Pretty hard. And happens to work very well on this court. Now, if we didn't have the tape on it, the bounces get unpredictable, I guess is the best way to put it. A little too bouncy. Harder than the one used at North Miami Amateur. I see it. I don't want to necessarily call it harder, but heavier than the one used at North Miami Amateur.
It is a heavy ball. I think that's why you see it, like, when it goes close to the boundary, it always lands in. It just sinks.
The weight is pretty similar to a traditional highlight ball. We're talking a few grams difference when you add the tape. That's one of the reasons why the players are able to, like, despite our holes in the side of the wall. Switch 5, 6, 7, 8. Despite the not holes in the side of the wall, but the grooves on the side wall that give us those Magic City bounces, right, and the bolts that hold the glass, which sometimes give a wonky bounce. This ball does play very naturally. It does play very naturally is a good way to put it. Andrew, you want to explain that? You often, I'm doing all the talking here, and you often talk about
that. It's okay. We need you to do the talking with this, too. But when a ball is hot, it just means it's been out there for a while, so the ball tends to bounce a little more, travels a little further, moves a little quicker. So when the ball is hot, I think it kind of speeds things up a bit. When it's a cold ball, like you get those early points in the game day, longer rallies, slow, harder to pass. When that ball is moving, it gets pretty hot. Yeah.
And the only way to get the ball hot is to have it in play. That's what you see in Battle Court. Is I do know that there are other facilities who microwave their balls. And just when you consider microwave technology, I'm not a fan. Like, on a bad day, if we had like significant cold weather down here regularly, could I see one of our balls like between 2 layers of towels and a heating pad on either side of it? Yeah, maybe I could see something like that. But microwaving it, no. Since microwave cooks from the inside out, I don't know what it's doing to the inside of the ball, and I'm afraid that's going to make it wonky. And that's been for years. I remember guys bringing me balls at North Miami asking me, hey, can you microwave this? I say, sure. Just put it in the microwave, close the door, not do anything.
Did they ever question it? No.
Well, sometimes.
So was this microwaved? Yes, it was.
Well, I mean, it's there was no complaint department in North Miami Amateur. You had a complaint, get the F out. There's your
Complaint box is the front door.
Complaint box. And then if it got serious, Howie had one of those bats. It's one of those small bats. Right underneath, and he slammed that on the counter one time. People got out of hand. It scared everybody. Even the parrot went back into its cage.
Game 6 starting right now.
We're ready to begin our 6th game. It is a spectacular 7 singles match, played at 7 points. Points double after the first round of play. Each Rabide serves, Inaki begins. Here's the backhand by Inaki. Rebote left side. Costalo 2-all, stopped, but not held on to, point 2. Receiving, white shirt at post 3, Aratz. Addison, you have a traditional highlight pelota from Milford. You're curious as to its value, so I think it's probably more valuable to you than it is financially. There isn't really a use. Point 2. Receiving, green shirt at post 4, Urrutia. There isn't really a used market. You could check on eBay every now and then. You see a highlight ball with some signatures of players on it. But if it's just a regular highlight ball, it probably means more to you. You might be able to get $20 for it on eBay. And I'm just saying that, just taking a wild guess. But there are a lot of highlight balls not circulating in any collector's community, but there are a lot of highlight balls out there. Rebote left side by Iñaki. Urrutia takes it on the bounce, dropped it on the backswing. Point 2. 2 with 3 points. Here's post 5. Manu. Michelle Brunel, all I can say about that is that we will not be here at Magic City, thereby making the Magic City bounce impossible. Rotate forehand by Manu. Costalo 2-all, scores. Inaki has 4 points. Here's the yellow shirt at post 6, worn by Douglas. I did take a course, Andrew. I believe I told you this. And back when I was in college, I was at Washington College for undergrad on the Eastern Shore, Maryland. Fewer than 800 undergrads at the time. But heavy in terms of having people who had been in the Lyndon Johnson presidential administration. And one of the communications classes that I was fortunate enough to have, let me talk about a highlight. I'll get back to that. Rebote forehand by Douglas. He passes. Here's Inaki. Inaki to the inside. Point 2. 5 points for Inaki. He is serving to the pink shirt at post 7, worn by Nicholas. So we would get people who would come through like Pierre Salinger. Pierre Salinger was press secretary for JFK. And who else did we get through? Ron Ziegler, who was press secretary for President Nixon. A couple of those people. You know, really bright guys who that's what I like to think anyway. There's a catch by Inaki. Hard throw to the inside where it scores, point 2. Inaki's gone 6 straight points. Possible game point on the court, trying to stop him. Purple shirt at post 8. Kosheri, this will complete our first round of play. So that's where I got this ability to answer without answering. And there's one other guy. His name is just escaping me right now, but he was really bright guy, and that he was from the Kennedy administration. Ted Sorensen. That was it. Theodore Sorensen. There's backhand by Gaucheri. Scoop by Gaucheri. Sherry on the Costado, hard to the inside, scooped up by Iñaki. Ball tipped to the side wall, 0.8. A fine. 6 straight, 0.4 Inaki. At a post 2, play continues. All matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, red at post 1, Ichibide. Bote 2-all. Stopped by Ichibide. Ichibide powerfully and high. That's going to land just in. Out of the reach of Gaucheri and score. Well thrown by Ichibide. 0.1. One on the board with 2 points. Here's post 3. Arats. Oh, first serve, 0.3. Arutu returns. Green shirt at post 4. Backhand 2-all, scooped up by Arats. Urrutia with a phenomenal catch. Just a great scoop. A little too much power. That hit the overhead screen, 0.3. 3 on the board with 4 points. Here's post 5, Manu. That's one of those catches that's just like so good that you're like, yeah, I don't even care that it hit the overhead screen. That catch was just crazy. Urrutia on the left side, I don't know what it is. His ability to stop the ball is... And again, you're looking at a young player with a lot of upside. Herbote forehand, not played at the sidewall, 0.5. Douglas returns in the yellow of post 6. Here's the backhand by Manu. Forehand rebote by Douglas. Stopped by Manu. Backhand from the 11 line. Forehand Karam rebote is in and scores 0.6. Nicholas receives. Pink of post 7. Here's a backhand by Douglas. Scoop by, ooh, he didn't hold on to it, 0.6. 4 points for Douglas in the yellow post 6, returning with possible game point, post 2, Iñaki. Rebote saved by Douglas will keep the ball in play. Inaki takes it on the forehand at the 8 line, sends it back. 2 score. Point and game, post 2, Iñaki. 3 serves to 6. This is a playoff for second and third place. That's out. Three places, 6 shows. Unofficial order of finish, 2, 3, 6. Your prices will be up in a moment. Results from Game 6 are official. Coming in first, post 2, Iñaki. Taking second, post 3, Aratz. Coming in third, post 6, Douglas. Price will be up in a moment. There are your prices. $2 Canelo, 2-3, $29.40. Trifecta, 236, $218.40. $2 wager on 2 to win, $19.60. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, is Game 7, and it is a spectacular 7. Doubles match. Play to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. There are no, I repeat, no scratches in our 7th game. Post time for Game 7. Somewhere between 7 and 8 minutes. Good luck. Let's see. Anything interesting in the chat? Anything interesting to chat about? Don't get me wrong. I'm not upset with our. Oh, wow. Never mind that. The 1 and 4 are live in the high 5. Guys, we don't have that many days left. What are you doing? 1 and the 4 are alive in the high 5. So the 1 is Goenaga and Nicholas. Yeah, they won the last one. And the 4, Hiram. Yeah, 2 good teams. I'll give you that. 2 good teams. I'll give you that. As you know, we will be paying out the last high 5 on our last day of Pelota, which I don't have the calendar, Andrew.
It's not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. So we end our Pelota season on a Tuesday, and then the Thursday that week is Thanksgiving. So it's the 20-something. Let's look at the calendar.
Andrew will now look at the calendar.
It's 20.
Switch.
25th. Tuesday, November 25th is the last day. Of Pelota.
Of Pelota.
Because we still play... Well, actually.
We have a couple days off from Battle Court.
I was going to say, we actually don't play Battle Court that week either. I think we play like Tuesday, and then we don't play Wednesday or Thursday. So I think Tuesday the 25th is the last full day of highlight. And then there's no Battle Court the 26th or the 27th. We do play the 28th. And then the next week, December 5th, Friday, is our playoffs, and then the next week, December 12th, is our championship.
Yeah.
So that's the schedule.
Yeah.
Down the stretch.
Let me tell you what we'll be dealing with. Just kidding. Once again, there will be a mandatory payout of the high 5, even if it's hit today or before then, 2 weeks from today.
Yeah. November 25th, folks. That will be the day.
These months are flying by. And then the fun of the move starts. And it was great. We were putting together teams for moves, and Andrew raised his hand and said, sorry, folks, but I can't help you with that.
I'm a little busy.
Please don't. I don't want to say that voice in my head. I need up the meds. That voice in my head just ask me if I want it. Dude, I don't want to see a schedule dealing with that. I don't know that the pharmacy has enough medications to get me through this move.
What he's talking about the The schedule, Stu, not the move.
Oh,
yeah,
I
don't
thought he
worry
was talking about the
no.
schedule to move.
'Cause, yeah.
Oh, yeah. No. I'm just, yeah.
Well, if you have a look at it, Brian, we trust Brian. So if he has a good look, I mean, it's better than me just spewing words. It's easier to look.
Yeah, Brian.
But we can post it up. There's our battle court schedule. So as we said, we play the 25th. We don't play Wednesday or Thursday that week. We come back for Friday the 28th, and then playoffs. First playoff begins at 2 p.m. on December 5th.
I see that gap you were talking about. Like there's November 25th. I'm just talking visually.
So I got to get on December 6th. I have to be in Madison, Wisconsin for a wedding, and I will be there.
You and fricking weddings. Let me tell you something. No,
So how am I going to do that, Stu?
you and fricking you're not going to abandon me on the
No, I can't.
Put that crap back
I
up.
would never. So I have a horrible day planned for the 6th, but I will be here on the 5th. And I might not be in the greatest mood, but it's the playoffs, so I will be.
Well, I did that, so I get it.
No, it's really not that bad. And then, so I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I can't get out Friday. There's no flights late. So I'm flying Miami to Chicago and going to my garage, my parents' house, picking up a car, and then taking that car to Madison.
How long is that drive?
It's about just under 2 hours. So I'm gonna be there.
See, those of us in Florida,
It'll be
those of us in
close.
Florida, the idea of driving like to a city in another state is completely foreign, because you got to drive 8 hours to get out of the state of Florida. So when you say, take a trip to Atlanta, it's like, okay, well that's 9-hour drive. Next closest major city in another state.
When we had a hurricane, that would have been my sophomore year of college, so 2016. I believe it was, had to be Irma, because that was the only one I left for. My friends kept moving up the state. They kept going up and up and up and up and up, and where they end up? Atlanta. That was the safest place for them to be during that storm. So, yeah, I mean, you can get there. It'll take you 10 hours, but you'll arrive in Atlanta eventually.
My ex's family lived on Jekyll Island, Georgia.
Oh, yeah.
And since it literally is one of the barrier islands for this, which are beautiful, by the way, of Georgia, he had a deal where at the beginning of hurricane season, the evacuation plan was a hotel in, I'm blanking on the name, but it was somewhere off 75, so very much inland, in a straight drive from his place far, far west in Georgia. It's on the Georgia-Florida border, I think. Blanking on the name. So, yeah, evacuation plans or where are you going to go? Or my father, rather. My father is oceanfront in Melbourne Beach.
Yeah.
And there's benefits and drawbacks. Benefits are...
It's a lovely view.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, his view is amazing. You got this beach. Now, ask me how many times. Yeah, I haven't seen my father in over a year. So, but he's got a house on the ocean, and that's great. But if a hurricane comes, got to pack up and go. Fortunately, they have a house in North Carolina and Western North Carolina near Tennessee. Okay. So the part that hopefully won't get messed up in a hurricane. 1 minute to go before we begin game number 7 with the 1 and the 4 alive in the high 5.
Yes, folks. Those are pretty close to our two leaders in the late doubles. Let's take a look here, if we can. So, yeah, after that win by Goanaga Nicholas in Game 5, Jairo Manu and Goanaga Nicholas tied for first. So that did play themselves into a tie. Both of those teams at 6 wins. So whoever's got that ticket out there, the 1 and the 4 here, pretty good shot. But these standings are jam-packed. Benetrix and Douglas have 5 wins. Rutia Cabrera with 4. Alex and Julian a couple. So you never know how these games go. We'll see. Good luck. Game 7.
Time to begin our 7th game. It is a spectacular 7. Doubles match played to 7 points with all points doubling after the first round of play. Serving in the red shirts of Post 1, Goanaga and Nicholas. Receiving in the blue of Post 2, Iñaki and Unda. That's an underserve, point 2. Receiving, white shirts post 3, Urrutia and Cabrera.
For December?
Here's the backhand by Cabrera, powerfully thrown wall to wall. Rebote coming out. Inyaki's there. Catch by Urrutia. To the inside it goes. Inaki's there. Urrutia calls for it. Unda on the catch. Backhand by Iñaki. Beautiful catch by Unda. Plucks that off the wall. Here's Cabrera. Point 3. Green shirts of post 4. Jairo and Manu receive. Powerful backhand along the wall, beautifully caught by Manu. Urrutia from the 9. Backhand by Cabrera. Manu on the catch. Backhand by Manu. Ball tipped in the back, point 4. Black shirts at post 5. Alex and Julian receive. Tiger's in the chat. Welcome, Tiger. Always good to see you. Scoop by Manu. Here's the backhand. I was going to get involved in that long one about who can play where, but there's going to be a lot of negative comments by me, so I just decided wasn't necessary. Here's Manu on the backhand. Manu again, backhand from the 12. Julian, fine catch, deep in the backcourt. Rebote forehand. Caught by Julian off the side wall. Rebote forehand by Alex will pass the front quarter, taken on the bounce in the back court. Big right side by Julian. Here's the backhand. Rebote left side, high to the front wall, out into no man's land, and Manu is there. Guess we can say one man in no man's land. Two by Alex will score .5. Yellow shirts at post 6. Lalu and Arats. No apologies necessary, Mark. We're glad that you joined, are watching, and enjoying from Longboat Key. There's a backhand by Rotz. Powerful, powerful backhand by Lalu. Alex is there. Rotz on the catch. Big backhand. That kicks. Rebote forehand. Rebote by Alex. Rotz looks to the rebote forehand. Rebote. Alex has a tip ball. .6. Post 7, the pink shirts receive Etcheberry and Benning. Here's a backhand by Benny. Arats is there. Backhand 2-all. Scooped up by Etcheberry. Powerful forehand by Etcheberry. Caught by Arats. Etcheberry from the 7. Powerful Costado on the forehand of Arats. Etcheberry reaching up. Juggling on the catch of Etcheberry. .6. Purple shirts post 8. We have Benetrix and Douglas. Mark, there's no real easy way to answer your question other than to say that those younger players are younger and they are developing, and the stuff that you're talking about that seems obvious really does come with time and experience. And that's not just an out. I mean, that's literally how it goes. Guys playing against each other on the same roster. .6. First round's complete. Matchups are worth 2 points now through the end of the game. First to return, Gonaga and Nicholas. Guys playing against each other in battle quarter, for instance, here in Pelota. You're talking about if they play against each other for 3 years, they can start figuring out that stuff. Also, if they happen to be in their early 20s, a player's peak is 27 to 32. So Benetrix is 22, going to be 23, Rutia 23. I mean, these guys are young. They'll get there. So what seems like obvious, or occasionally what sounds obvious, that ball hit the overhead screen, which is out of play, .6. Possible game point for the yellow shirts post 6. Lalu and Rotz trying to stop them. Iñaki and Unda. So it seems obvious sometimes to us, as announcers. And I have a little, experience playing amateur and watching a lot of play. You're just not in a position to do on the court. Here's a backhand by Unda. What a catch by Arats in the corner. Big backhand. Unda has it off the 12. Rotz moves up, makes the catch. Hard backhand follows Inaki with a difficult play at the side wall. Lalu, Rebote, inside. Big bounce brought down by Unda. Rebote left side. Catch by Unda. Unda over the top again from the 11. Catch by Aratzi. Does not hold on. Two with 3 points. Returning is the 3 team. Arutia and Cabrera. Big backhand by Cabrera. Arutia from the 8 line. Rotate forehand. Good catch by Unda. Cabrera from the backcourt. Rotate left side. Naki picks it. To the inside it goes. Cabrera advances. There's the backhand. Backhand from Cabrera. Scoop attempt miss. Rebote save made by Unda. Backhand to the outside. Inaki's there. Naki calls for the Rebote, sends it back. Rebote forehand. Caught by Iñaki. Ball tipped. Point two. Two team has 5 points. Possible game point trying to stop them. Jairo and Manu. Rebote forehand. Caught in the air by Manu. Ball tipped. Point 4. Forward 3 points. Here's post 5. Alex and Julian. A hard serve by Jairo. Backhand. Cut by Manu. Manu powerfully along the wall. Julian is there. Rebote. Forehand. Cut by Manu. Rotate forehand. Scoop attempt, miss, point 4. Possible game point for the green shirts of post 4. Jairo and Manu. Trying to stop them, Echeverry and Benny. Backhand 2-all. Scoop by Jairo. Benny saves Rebote. Jairo's there. Benny goes for the save. That falls short. Point and game, post 4. Jairo and Manu. 6 serves to 2. This is a playoff for second and third place. J.R. Schumann, that's exact. Valdosta is exactly the city that I was thinking of. Backhand by Unda. Robote. Two places, 6 shows. Unofficial order finish, 4-2-6. Results from Game 7 are official. Coming in first, post 4, Jairo and Manu. Taking second, post 2, Iñaki and Unda. Coming in third, post 6, Lalu and Rats. 4-2-6. Unofficial order finish for Game 7. There goes the high 5. Quinella 2-4, $22. Trifecta 4-2-6, $568.60. A high 5, 12824, 505 numbers. 1 ticket returning $2,000. Congratulations to the excellent handicapper or lucky number picker. Don't forget that the high 5 will be forced out in a mandatory payout 2 weeks from today. Last Pelota day of the season. Up next, ladies and gentlemen, our 8th game. That's the 8th and final Pelota game in advance of Battle Court at 5 p.m. when the Devils will take on the Cyclones. Post time for Game 8, about 6 minutes. Good luck.
Remind me of Hustle City, man. Everybody got more than one gig. I sell ice cream, I sell a CD.
I have a security company, a beauty salon.
I've been doing music for a very long time.
I'm not your neighborhood Uber driver. I do luxury. And then I have another job. I play highlight.
We're looking to transition from dog racing to highlight. I went to the university. I said, listen, I have this crazy idea. Do you think we could send something out to all the ex-athletes for the last 20 years and say, we're looking to hire and train highlight players?
They paying us, man, and we can win big money.
Let me see what this is all about.
That's what you gotta do. Get some money.
The players taking the court are all athletes you may recognize.
Baseball, football, track and field.
If you're going to come into this sport, you got to be dedicated. You're going to be a piece of cake.
We knew going in, they're not going to be great the first day.
It'll be like the Jamaicans with the bobsled team. Game time now, man.
This is gonna be the first time that my kids will be able to sit in the audience and root for their father.
Who wants it more?
This is a sacrifice I think is going to pay off in the end.
This is a dream for me.
I got to win.
Can't get drama better than this.
Highlight became the new hustle.
Let's get ready to play.
And folks, that is a trailer for the award-winning documentary about the inaugural season of play right here in Magic City. That is called Magic City Hustle. Directed by Billy Corbin, the creator of Cocaine Cowboys, Screwball the U, and much more. This film highlights the transition of these Magic City athletes from their respective careers in other sports right here to the highlight front time. You can watch Magic City Hustle directly from Google Play or iTunes, rent or buy from either platform. You buy it for just a few dollars more. You can enjoy it as many times as you like for life. Which takes us here about 3 minutes from the start of game number 8.
So, Mark, the answer to your question is no. This announcer's booth at Magic City Highlight has not received a talking point, a PowerPoint, a piece of paper, nor any approval whatsoever to discuss where we are going when we leave here. I have been flirting, but it's really just more to entertain myself than anything else. I've been flirting with the subject. Not flirting with giving out the name, because I won't do that, because that I was asked not to do that. So I'm not going to do it. And it's not my business to do that. And why wouldn't you do that? Why? Why? Because so many people already know, and it was announced. Scott grabbed a microphone during the Us and Jack, went out there. I mean, if you really want to know, go back to the USN JAC, look at Scott's opening if it was recorded, and listen to his announcement. But when the CEO does that, that doesn't mean that Stu and Andrew can do it, especially after they've been told not to. So no, there's been no official announcement. I would like to be able to announce it, because I would like to be able to discuss it with you guys. In this format, because I can't discuss it in Battle Court.
Well, it's only 4 days after today, so.
Yeah, hopefully by the last Tuesday, I might ask permission, I might not. Because it is both exciting, and as Andrew knows, for me, it's exciting and terrifying at the same time. It's like if someone was writing this story, it is the only way. It's the only, like, how do we put a really great, continuation or ending on this story? There's only one way to write it.
It really is. Well, we'll hear about Battle Court coming up tonight, 5 p.m. Devils and Cyclones. Get you the matches quickly, starting with doubles. Division 2, Echeverry Benny take on Jairo Manu. Then Division 4, Nicholas and Kubala against Robin and Unda. Then Benetrix and Rock will take on Jairo and Stan. And then Division 1 doubles, you'll see Echeverry Nicholas against Inaki and Manu. Match 5 will be singles, Kubala against Robin. And then back to doubles for the finale, Benetrix and Benny against Inaki and Unda. Those will be the 6 matches in order tonight. Devils and Cyclones. Right here, 5 p.m.
Quick answer, Highlight. The answer is yes. The answer to your question is yes. Nothing that I'm not familiar with, but it's because I'm familiar with it that I'm a little frightened. Time to begin Game 8. It is a spectacular 7 singles match. Played to 7 points. Points will double after the first round of play. Serving the red shirt post 1, Manu. Receiving in the blue post 2, Arutia. There's a backhand by Manu. It's a backhand 2-all. Arutia is on it with the forehand. Drop shot, not droppy enough, as they like me to say. Sends this one back. Arutia caught it in the air. Did he pass? Kinda. Point 2. Receiving the white shirt at post 3, Alex. See, that's a kind of pass because Manu got assessed on it. So he didn't really pass him. But the way that Arutia got back, I thought he was going back for the rebote. He got back and caught it in the air. There's a backhand by Alex, low and hard, caught by Arutia. Rebote left side to the inside, where it scores on the second bounce. Point 2. 2 with 2 points. Here's post 4. The green shirt receives. Nicholas. No, anyone who plays on this court, that's not exactly true. There are some players, but they're not the younger players or the weaker players that may play with some degree of fear of other players. But the younger players, like if you're talking about like Arutia and Alex, and no, there's less fear of life in general amongst those guys. Scoop attempt, tip, point 2. Receiving, black shirt at post 5. Go Sherry. Catch by Gaucheri. Gaucheri to the inside. That scores. 0.5. Yellow shirt at post 6, receiving Iñaki. Yeah, we have players here that are completely lacking in fear of some things that they should have fear of. And the proximity with which they get to each other. I mean, Unda got smacked with a ball on Cesti last week. Rebote by Iñaki to the inside, kicks. Gaucheri takes it. Rebote by Iñaki. Catch by Gaucheri. Karam scores. Point 6. Receiving pink up post 7, number 13, Douglas. When I see close, I'm thinking about battle court and like Ubia and really anyone in the backcourt. They just like, Ubia just like rolls around them. I haven't seen that in highlight before. Excellent serve by Iñaki. Beautiful catch hand throw by Douglas. Two all, caught the pad, 0.6. Iñaki with 2 points, serving to post 8. Iturbide. Part of that is the function of the pace of play. Someone had posted earlier that that there are 20% more catches during the course of a minute, I think it was, here than on a traditional long court. That's an ace. That is a beautiful serve by Iñaki.
That's it, JR. That's it.
Manu receives right at post 1. Here's a backhand by Manu. What a beautiful catch by Manu. That backhand just flipped to stay in play. Rebote by Iñaki. 2 all will score. 0.6, 5 points for the 6th post. Iñaki, possible game point, trying to stop him. Alex. Here's a backhand by Alex. Point in game post 6. Iñaki. No playoff. 2 places, 5 shows. 6-2-5. Results are official. Coming in first, post 6. Iñaki taking second, post 2. Urrutia coming in third, post 5. Gaucheri, 6-2-5. The official order finished for game 8. We'll have your prices up in just a moment. Yeah, Mark, if I didn't get to a question, apart from the one about if you're talking about the one with the young ones and Manu, no one's afraid of any other player on the court. It's a question of experience of how to play against them. But I can answer in detail on Thursday. I'll try anyway. 625, the official order finished for Game 8. $2 Canelo, 2-6, 40-60. Trifecta 625. Lost it. Our late pick 3, 2-4-6. 3 of 3 numbers returning, $145 even. A $2 wager on 6 to win, $25.40. I don't know, something about a $25 win price that I always like to see. It does look nice. Trifecta 625, $191 even. That, ladies and gentlemen, will do it for this Tuesday afternoon of Live Highline in the Magic City on the Highline channel. We're glad that you chose to join us today and invite you to join us for Battle Court at 5 p.m., just about 1 hour from now, when the Devils will take on the Cyclones. On behalf of the players, staff, and management of Battle Court Highline LLC, the World Highline League, and of course, Magic City Fronton, we thank you for joining us today and hope to see you for Battle Court. Don't forget, we have Battle Court again tomorrow at 5, Thursday at 5, and closing out these Pelota performances Thursday, 1:30 p.m. Have a good week, everybody.